Yo, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. As you can see from the title, man, I'm about to be giving y'all 3 tips on how to make your drums hit harder. I know for a lot of beginners, y'all probably have no idea how to make your beats sound crisp and really good, so I got you. I'm gonna help you out. If this is your first time seeing me on this channel, feel free to subscribe to the channel by the end of this video if you like all these tips, or if you just go to the previous videos and you like what I'm cooking. Hit that post notification bell because I'm really about to be consistent in my content, trust me. Feel free to like this video by the end of it if you think all these 3 tips were helpful, and follow me on my socials at JaydenCookEm. So without further ado, let's get straight to this video. First tip that I'm gonna give you guys is a good master. I'm not gonna explain how to do templates again because that was my last video, which you should definitely watch either here or here, whichever one I decide to put it on. But basically, every single beat that I start off with has my master chain, which is, for any newcomers, what you put on this end called the master to make your beats hit, right? It's basically the last couple effects that level out all of your sounds and make it sound clean on all devices. So no matter if I'm playing this in the car or I'm playing this in my headphones, if your master chain has good effects on it, it'll sound clean no matter what. And for me, this is what I usually do, and I'm gonna put you on if you really want to make some good beats but don't know how to, like, you know what I'm saying, get them to sound clean on the mix. Boom. 1, parametric EQ. Very simple. All I do is adjust some of the knobs. I boost the mids, the lows, and the highs. I don't boost these 2 specifically for no reason. I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea why I don't. I just don't. I feel like with these already boosted up 2 decibels and this boosted up like 1.5-ish, it already does the job for me. So these extra 2 don't really need to be moved. And then the mid is just simply so that like there's more mid frequencies in my beats. It's really just something that's like nitpicky and not really that specific. But the main magic right here is the fruity soft clipper. This right here makes sure that my beats don't clip too hard. This right here pretty much makes sure that all my beats don't hit above 0 decibels. And if they do, it's probably a distorted type beat, like a Ken Carson or Osama Sun type beat, where it'll hit a little bit above 0 decibels. But for the most part, I'm even just play a beat that I recently, these are all zips. Let me just skip to the main drums. As you can see, right, the soft clipper pretty much stops it from hitting that 0 dB. And I found it best to just keep it at the standard default settings that it already comes with. I wouldn't move any of these knobs just because there's no need to do it. It really does sound clean for the most part. Like, as you can hear from this beat, there's no 808s in it, so it's not the best example, but just for any type of beat, like, that's just such a clean, nice mix that you're not going to be able to get without that type of preset. Now, there are other effects that you could use. You could use something like a fruity limiter. If you really want to be fancy, you could use like a multi-band compressor. You could use third-party plugins like Ozone or Waves compressors. But I know for the fact that if you don't have the money for that shit, you're just gonna end up cracking it and I'm not trying to knock your hustle, but if you really want to have a clean mix for free without the worry of anything like coming back to bite you or whatever, best case scenario is to just use a soft clipper and a parametric EQ, or you could use a limiter. Either way, finding that good master is the first tip, and that's the best tip I can give you so far. So on to the next one. Okay, so for the next tip, I'm gonna play a different beat. The next tip is gonna be to use good sounds. I know a lot of you guys are gonna be like, wait, so in order for me to have hard-hitting drums, I gotta have hard-hitting sounds? And my answer is yes. Let me pull up and play you this beat, for example, right here. 何人もの人がその力を次へと託してきたんだよ。みんなのためになりますように。一つの希望となりますようにと。次はお前の番だ。頑張ろうな。Sorry, Jayden's not available right now. Oh, damn. Okay, when it comes to good sounds, the best thing I could tell you to do is just go to Reddit. To be entirely honest, you could do the same thing that a lot of other producers do, which is like buy these drum kits or get sounds from your homies, but the two like mini tips that I could give you to finding good sounds is to watch other producers cook up. For example, you could watch like Nick Mira tutorials and all that other stuff, but you clicked on this video to see what I think, so here's what I'm gonna tell you to do. For one, you gotta know which drum kit it is. Almost every drum kit in here, I know what purpose they do, or at least I know the person that made this kit. Things like the Pyrex Whipper drum kit though, I got that off of Reddit, and I got it because I know about Pyrex Whipper and I know the sounds that he uses are hard. That's another thing that you could really do when it comes to getting good sounds. Knowing which sounds are reliable and which sounds are being used in like the mainstream era. Listen to some of the music that you listen to right now, besides underground trash. No names in particular though. Xavier Soul. Let's just look at stuff like the Spins 808. This is literally used in almost every single beat somehow, some way. And if you use this in your beats, it's not gonna be trash. Now, here's one tip that I could give you to making your drums hit hard. Here's the 808 method. I'm gonna give y'all this, right? If you want to boost your 808s like this, only boost it to like 1% or 2%. You don't want to go crazy and boost this shit to like 8. Envelope, let me just teach y'all. The envelope is simple. Put the attack down, put the hold up, decay down, sus down, and release time down. That's the envelope that you want to have for your beats. Another thing that you could do is increase the volume on this 808 right here. So if you wanted to hit it like 101, 102, my rule of thumb is never above 105 unless your 808 is really weak. The velocity all the way up, no matter what. It doesn't matter if it's a Zay, if it's a Spins, if it's a CTM, it doesn't matter. Put it all the way up, trust me. Final tip is to level your sounds. I'm gonna use this beat actually as the whole beat now, but basically, right, when it comes to leveling your sounds, the simplest way I can explain it is to just basically make each and every sound have its own purpose. What do I mean by that? I'm gonna show you. My general rule for a lot of these sounds is that 80% is the bare, right? It's the bare minimum. If you're going above that, it's because you want it to hit a lot harder. And what do I mean by 80%? I mean the channel volume. For the channel volume, the clap is always going to be at 80%. And the hi-hat for me is going to be at 75 because I want it to hit at the same level as the clap, but not entirely. I always want my hi-hats to be a little bit less loud, because if the hi-hats all in your ear too loud, it's just gonna sound like a Take Keys beat, and those are usually never good. So for your other perks and stuff, it really just depends on how hard you want your stuff to hit, how quiet and how loud you want it to be in the mix. Leveling is really just as easy as adjusting the volume on these channels right here. So as you can see, the teleport sound effect, I didn't want it to be as loud as the Naruto sound effect. And usually the wave file isn't as loud in general. So it really just depends on your ear. Honestly, when it comes to leveling, the biggest thing, the biggest tip that's going to help you is to just ear train. And ear training is just simply listening to music, making a lot of beats. The only practice I could tell you to train your ear is to practice, right? Because it's really just a matter of getting that comfortability and learning which sounds good on the types of beats that you're using versus which don't. So let me even show you the mixer right here. For example, hi-hats a lot lower than the claps, the perks lower than the claps, but as you can see, the 808s, here is my method for 808s to put on your mixer. Put the stereo separation at 100% merge, so put this knob right here to the right. And then from 100%, you just want to decrease it down to 96% volume. That's it. That's the method that I use for the 808s, and it works for almost every single beat that I use it in. For the melodies, if it's too loud of a melody, I'll have it at like 88 to 86% volume, but most of the time it's at 90 to 93. So it really just depends on if the loop is too loud or too soft. You could honestly use that same rule for scratch melodies. If your melodies are too loud in the mix, depending on which one it is, you could honestly have it at like 90 or 93. It just depends on your ear and the ear training that you train. That's it for this video. If you liked any of these tips and you thought that they were helpful, please let me know in the comments. I want to see everybody making hard beats all 2024 and 2025 coming up. I want to hear these stories, bro. I want to hear if I really made a difference to any of your guys' producing journeys. If this is your first time seeing me on the channel, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to make sure to hit that notification bell so that you won't miss any more content. I'm gonna be posting every Friday and potentially every Wednesday. I'm not sure about the Wednesday portion, but definitely every Friday for sure. Make sure to follow me on my socials at JaydenCookEm. And without further ado, I'm Jayden and I'm out. Peace.